Hello and welcome back to JDA Football. On this episode what is it, 30, I think it is, 29 on Spotify. But yeah, thanks for joining us. It's the general news to start off with, and we'll go to Joe first on this one. Actually, how are you guys? I always say this. How are you guys first?
Pretty good, yeah. The weather's been nice down in Devon. I think we've taken all of your weather, so yeah, it's been very relaxing.
What about you, Joe?
It's been good. I got home last night because we're picking up a car, flying away again. Not flying, driving away again tonight. How are you, Dan?
Good. It's quite sunny here, to be fair, Alex. It's not that bad. But yeah,
it's boiling.
Yeah, we'll get straight into the general news and what's over in Spain, Joe.
So, Real Madrid have been crowned La Liga champions with 2 goals from Karim Benzema in a 2-1 win against Villarreal, securing their first league title in 3 years and their 34th Spanish title.
That's 3 years, a long time to wait for Real Madrid. But to follow up with that, Messi summed up really their season at Barcelona when he said, "We didn't expect to finish in this way, but it sums up the year for us. We are a weak team who can be beaten with enough intensity and enthusiasm." So that's Messi's thoughts. Alex?
I think that's unfair there.
What about on the Barcelona team?
He's being too harsh there on the team. They were 5 points behind the title. And yeah, they used to win and everything, but just because he's I'm not sure who we can call the best player in the world at the moment, but because he's one of the best players in the world, he thinks he can say that, and it's just disheartening for the rest of the team. I think he's being unfair on everyone else.
Yeah, he has been a bit moody these last couple of years.
He's negative.
But yeah, Alex, what's the Prime Minister saying? And this is good for us.
Well, the Prime Minister has said trials will begin for them to see larger gatherings in football stadiums, which could mean the reopening of stadiums for football fans in the near future. Yeah, they're thinking of reopening leisure centres by August the 1st, which will be very good for some, I know, smaller clubs as well who probably don't have the same facilities as some of the big clubs. So yeah, very important.
Right.
Bournemouth training and leisure centre.
No, but I think they've got actually quite good training complex. It's their athletic club, aren't they?
Big.
We might be seeing JDA on tour coming back.
Who knows?
JDA Football Club.
But Joe, who was retired, and he goes by the name of Schürrle.
You've just given it away. Andre Schürrle has announced his retirement at the age of 29. He's a former Chelsea and Fulham forward, and he cancelled the rest of his contract with Borussia Dortmund earlier this week.
Chelsea legend.
Yeah. It's been a while since he was in the spotlight for me, but yeah.
29 is quite young to retire.
I remember.
Yeah, I don't think he was playing first team though. So
at Fulham last season, I thought he was playing quite well. He scored a banger or two in the season he was at Fulham. I think he went on loan from Dortmund, didn't he? And then he went to Russia.
Spartak Moscow, sorry. But yeah, that's Schürrle. We'll miss you. But West Ham, Mr. West Ham, you could call him, Mark Noble, has had 500 games for West Ham. And yeah, an incredible milestone for him. Alex, there's something big going on in Yorkshire.
No, so one of the biggest some of the biggest news in Yorkshire for quite a while. After 16 years away from the Premier League, Leeds have finally been promoted. I'm sure Dan is very happy about this. Bielsa have finally taken Leeds after so many tries back up to the Premier League, back where they belong probably, and hopefully they can do well next season. We might see another Wolves.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, they're promoted as champions, and when the predictions, we'll do predictions for the next season. But I mean, I'm really scared for next season because you've heard Pep Guardiola and Mauricio Pochettino say it. He is the godfather of football in their opinion, and it's quite worrying because I've watched Leeds this season and they do look very good.
Guys in the Championship though.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah, but
did you see
they've
them against
absolutely
Arsenal?
dominated. They've absolutely dominated, and they were like, for the past like 3 seasons, they've been dangerously close to coming up. But this
But it
season, they
does
got
make
everything right. This season, they flew through it easy.
it 10 times more funny if they go down first time there. So
I
yeah,
don't think that'll
swings and
happen, though.
roundabouts.
Yeah, but I think Leeds aren't underestimated. You can't underestimate them. I mean,
No.
it's like playing a better City, in my opinion, and that's saying something. I mean, if you look at the players that Bielsa's got compared to Guardiola, he's still doing a magnificent job on the way he runs his team, like high intensity.
He's making that.
I
Pablo
think we could be
Fernandes
looking at another Sheffield United or another Leicester here.
I think we could go further. If he
You
gets the right
think?
players in the summer, I reckon they could go further. Not win.
You think
They
they
got-
could win it?
Top four.
Top 4?
They'll be
I
in
think they're
with
going
a
to have a
shout.
great transfer window as well because they managed to get that Augustine in, who's one of Europe's
PSG.
best young strikers, and they managed to get him to the Championship. Like, how does that work?
This is the thing.
Because they're insane. They're so good.
Their
They
recruitment is
breathed
ridiculous.
through this season.
Their recruitment is ridiculous. They got Garcia in from Real Madrid, backup striker, and they got him into the Championship to play for Leeds. It's just unbelievable. But
Because everyone can see they're coming back up.
yeah, no, but he joined in the season last year where everybody was thought they're going up. But then to stay another season with them, showing commitment.
Yeah, because he can see the potential to play Premier League football for a first team. Whereas he was a backup striker. He could be starting.
He was nearly starting for RB Leipzig, wasn't he?
Who?
Augustine.
Oh, right, him. I was talking about Garcia. But yeah, wasn't he on loan from PSG? Oh.
I think they bought him from PSG. I'm not sure how Leeds ended up getting him, but
Yeah, but anyway, they're one to watch out for next season. And you might have seen it at the weekend. They were celebrating in an open-top bus. Might have not been allowed, but Leeds don't really care. I was actually in Yorkshire and Scarborough last weekend, and I sent Alex something. I said, I was walking through this little town, and it was packed, and there was a ton of Leeds shirts, and I didn't have my United one on. Fortunately, they would have come up to me. But anyway, yeah, they're celebrating, but well done for them to going up. But what's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, Joe?
not saying.
So there's been claims that United are receiving favourable VAR decisions from lots of people, and Frank Lampard actually warned his players to be careful in the semi-final because they didn't want to get caught out by VAR, and he's hit back at that, saying it looks like there's a narrative. It looks like people want to influence whoever is making the decisions. Basically saying, I think people are trying to make a story and try and make United take the fall for it. But to be honest, VAR is it's in the early stages and it's going so weird for everyone. Next season it could go awful for United. I don't think it's bias or anything.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Chelsea team that committed 21 fouls on the FA Cup on Sunday and got away with the majority of them. I mean, we'll come on to the FA Cup maybe in a bit, but if anybody watched the match, did anybody see that Zuma and Martial clash?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you think that was a penalty?
I was watching it and I was like, oh no, they're giving away a penalty. Like, I was dead certain there was a penalty. And then you just like, yeah, I don't know what was going on. And I think just before that was the Bayern Maguire incident, which was, a bit distressing for both players, but yeah.
Yeah, and going on with the Leeds celebrations, they've also made a sort of, a signpost on one of the streets in Leeds, and it's called Marcelo Bielsa Way. And I know he's done a lot for them, of course, getting them back from 16 years, but I feel like if you get your own sign, you have to like prove yourself, win a Champions League or a Premier League, maybe.
Not the Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, naming a street after a manager, for them to do that, they've kind of got to pull Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, I know. It's
so,
like
if he can live up to Ferguson's legacy,
that's never happened.
But
nobody's
in Leeds anyway.
That's never happening.
If he can win, 3 seasons in a row, in the near future. I reckon he could earn that streak, but for me, winning a championship isn't something to name a street after.
Yeah, I mean, Pep Guardiola won, what was it, 2 Premier Leagues in a row. And he won the quadruple, which is never, well, not quadruple, but, the domestic treble, sorry, which has never been done. You don't see him getting a street named after him. Vincent Kompany, who's been there about 10 years, gone through thick and through, sorry, he's not even got a statue outside the stadium. So
it's because City fans don't care.
But yeah, anyway, moving on. Unfortunately, Nigel Pearson has got sacked from Watford with 2 games remaining.
Unfortunately, I'm loving it.
But yeah, he came out with a statement which I'm sure Alex will read out in a minute, hopefully. And since since his first game of Watford, Nigel Pearson has picked up more points than Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Leicester, Brighton, West Ham, Aston Villa, Bournemouth, and Norwich, with 25 points. And I mean, maybe this is the way I see it. I think if you bring in a manager for the last 2 games, it's going to be the manager comes in, he's going to pump the squad up, he's going to make them all fiery, and they're going to go and win a game. That's what usually happens.
Like Duncan Ferguson did with Everton.
Yeah. But I can see that way, but I don't know. Nigel Pearson's probably a man. I mean, we see what he did at Leicester. But yeah, what do you guys think about it?
So yeah, it's just that he's not done brilliantly at Watford, but he was brought in to get them out of the relegation zone. I'm pretty sure they were dead bottom for most of the season, yeah. And he was brought in. He did reasonably well. He's beaten quite a few teams. He beat Liverpool, which only one other team can say they've done, or 2 of the teams now. Arsenal have done it. But yeah, for him to be sacked with 2. With just 2 games to go, it just seems a bit ludicrous, and you're not going to get a manager that can change your squad in 2 games unless you get like a world-class manager, and that's not going to happen. Yeah, they played. I can't remember his name, but they had a caretaker manager for the City game, and yeah, that didn't go too well either. So yeah,
I'm just hoping Arsenal will do them in on the last day of the season.
So you'll stay up.
You've got West Ham, haven't you, Joe? Yeah.
Yeah. If we draw against West Ham, we should stay up.
Should.
Depending on what Bournemouth do.
We'll see. We will see. But yeah, this is what Nigel Pearson had to say. Being overwhelmed by the well wishes and I've received from Watford supporters in the football community. Thank you all for your kind messages. Although not being able to finish the task I was brought in to achieve, I wish Watford all the best for the final 2 games. Cheers, Nige. But
I'd be really annoyed if they sacked me with the last 2 games of the season when with the 25 points since lockdown. Yes, he might not have had an amazing record just before lockdown, but 25 points in however many games he's played isn't a bad record. It's not awful.
I mean, getting them from rock bottom as well, it's just ridiculous. Like, nobody thought they were going to at least...
Yeah, he got them off the bottom, and he got them, almost out of the relegation zone, depending on what happens with the next game. But
it'll be intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the point?
Like, if it wasn't
he could have done it. I was fully expecting them to draw against City.
Yeah.
But
what was that, Alex?
I think if it wasn't for him, Watford would have been down already. Like, there's no way they would have been able to fight during these last games.
No.
And he's given them hope, and just for them to sack him and not even give him next year where he could develop the team and bring some new players in, they've not allowed him to do that. And I think they've just... Yeah, it's their 4th manager this season that they've sacked, and it's just a bit ludicrous in my opinion.
It's worse than United. You don't even give them a chance to sign players. United, they give the manager a ridiculous amount of money to spend.
Mourinho, Jesus! If you don't know how much money we gave to him. Honestly.
Did you hear what Moyes said about I think he said what's the difference between me and Ollie?
They gave him more time.
And he said, yeah. And I don't think that's true, but oh well.
I mean, Ollie came in, hit the ground running. Moyes didn't really do that, did he?
No.
So
The moment Ollie came in, there was a definite change to your squad.
yeah,
Just the whole mentality changed.
I mean, he picked the same squad that Mourinho had and made them into a winning team.
Yeah,
Isn't
it was the same players. He just worked well with them, and Mourinho didn't.
Yeah. What's going on at Villarreal, Alex?
So yeah, Santi Cazorla's waved goodbye for the second time. Villarreal last night. I think he did retire after an injury. After he left Arsenal and then he went to Villarreal, he got a terrible injury. The doctor said he'd never play football again. And yeah, he obviously did, and he hit double figures in both goals and assists this season. And yeah, a wonderful season for him. And he has gone to Xavi's team in Saudi Arabia or something.
Oh, Qatar. That's what I mean.
Next season. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, a footballing legend in Spain. And yeah, let's hope in the best for in the future.
Yep, definitely. Joe, a big trophy is going to be missed this season, and it's an individual one.
Yes. The Ballon d'Or is not going to be awarded in 2020 due to the disruption caused by the big thing going on right now. The big C word.
Not that one that
There's
you're
two
thinking
C
of.
words we're not allowed to say on YouTube, and this is one of them. Yeah, so no one's going to get the Ballon d'Or. In my opinion, that's the right move because players' form and players' mentality has definitely been knocked due to what's going on and due to lockdown and everything. I think that's the right move. Yeah, I'm not sure it's safe for players to even be playing. So for them to still be competing for an award, yeah, I think they've done the right thing there.
Yeah, what do you think, Alex?
So it's a pretty hard one in my opinion. Like obviously, there's not been the same amount of games played. Well, there's been the same amount of games, but it's not in the same time scale. So I can understand why it's not being awarded. But on the other hand, it could have probably been one of the last times we could have seen Ronaldo and Messi battling for it. Because I know next season they probably won't be up to the same standard. They're both getting much older. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see who wins it next year now. So.
Yeah, I don't know, it's still a whole season. I know, like, COVID's played a massive part to it, of course. But I don't know.
Still been played.
Like the PFA, that's still been done, which we'll come on to later. That's still been awarded to a player. So maybe because this was an international one, it's a bigger stage. But yeah, no Ballon d'Or this year. But going on to Pep Guardiola, and he said this about his apprentice and Arsenal. I have all the respect for what Arsenal are on the pitch, not much off it. What do you think about that?
Well, very controversial seeing him as Arteta was Pep Guardiola's understudy for a couple of years at City. And yeah, it should be interesting in the near future. But yeah, obviously Arsenal did beat City 2-0, which is a very good result for Arsenal and quite a worrying one, I'd say, for Manchester City, even though they did bounce back with a 4-0 win over Watford a few days after. But yeah, very controversial from Pep Guardiola again. And I don't think you'd expect him, a manager like him, to say something like that, to be honest. Like he's a world-class manager, but for him to say something to a young manager who's probably aspires to be as like him as possible, it's it's a very controversial one.
Yeah, for me, it's just a childish dig.
Yeah, he didn't get what he wanted, so he just said that.
No, he's just like because he's got his own way.
Oh, Joe's lagging.
Yeah, I don't think you can. You shouldn't be supposed to.
We're having some breakup issues. Right, so while Joe's just taking a bit of a break, yeah, I think Guardiola wasn't very happy with the result, but I think Arteta won't think anything of that, I don't think. Joe, are you back with us? Yes, he is.
I am back. Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, so from a PR point of view, I don't think Guardiola can say that because he's going to get a lot of hate from football fans about that.
I mean, everybody hates City anyway, so I don't think it'll make a
Yeah.
difference. What's going over in Italy? The big CR7, Alex. Ooh.
What?
CR7, Cristiano.
Why?
He's done something with the big 50. Can you not find it?
No.
All right, okay. So Cristiano Ronaldo has become the first player to score 50 goals in the Premier League, La Liga, and Serie A. So I know if you want to check out our greatest of all time debate or Ronaldo v Messi, check out the mukbang video. Do it there. But yeah, that's a big milestone for Ronaldo, isn't it?
Yeah, very big. I know he's got all them records, fastest player to 50 goals in Liga NOS, is it as well, and the Premier League or something like that, and in La Liga. So yeah, he's very debatable whether he's the best player in the world with him and Messi at the moment. And there's also a few other players as well. I know people will say some other players, but yeah, with judging by all of the records he's broken, I can't see much competition with him being the best player in the world, and he's just done it in so many leagues as well. It's very hard to say he's not, but yeah.
What about you, Joe? Have you got anything to say about CR7?
So he's broken a lot of records, yes. And he is arguably the best player in the world. But I think what you have to focus on is his mentality. When he wasn't the best, he worked for it. And he's worked so hard to be where he is now.
Yeah, and he's got everything.
So yes, you can talk about his awards and everything, and yes, they're great. But I look up to him because of how his brain works and how hard he works.
Yeah.
Rather than his football ability, because I'm never going to be a footballer.
To Udinese.
Who? Juventus?
Juventus, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just
he did have 7 shots in that game, so yeah.
Oh, big game.
What did you say?
He had 7 shots, and he didn't score. So
Ronaldo did.
Yeah.
Oh
I bet Umar Nias could have scored about 8 of them. So.
As if. I bet his form will probably dip off. He's getting old. He's like 36, something ridiculous. But
maybe he needs glasses.
Yeah, maybe. But Alex, FIFA 21 news. We're going into the game inside now. What have we got?
So yeah, the cover of FIFA 21, the Standard Edition and the Champions League and Ultimate Edition has been released, and Kylian Mbappe is the cover star, which is it'll be very nice for him. I've seen the is it the video of the FIFA 21? I don't know what it's called. But it's the promo video or something like that. Mbappe, Trent, Haaland, and João Felix. And yeah, it was very good. There was lots of sneak peeks, and yeah, it doesn't look that much different gameplay wise, but there's some differences in it. I think there's going to be a co-op ultimate team, which is going to be very interesting.
That should be good.
So we can play ultimate team with our friends. We might even see a JDA
ultimate team.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who knows? Who knows? Soon. But yeah, that's FIFA 21 news. There's been some relegations, Joe, and it's in the Championship. It's some big news and controversial news. So, Joe, what is it?
Hull City, Wigan, and Charlton have all been relegated after a dramatic final day in the Championship. I think most people knew that Hull were going down. And Wigan, it was debatable until the last couple of weeks. Didn't really expect Charlton, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know they're appealing the 12-point deduction, which could be very interesting to Wigan. And if they do, I don't know who will go down instead of them, but Barnsley. Wigan will climb the table to 13th. So, yeah, still controversy even when the season's ended.
Yeah, I mean, Barnsley, last 2 games, they were on the verge of getting relegated. They were in the relegation spot since September. And this is a big win for them this season. I mean, they scored in the 96th minute in the second match until the season finished, and then the 91st minute, against, who was it? Brentford. Yeah, Brentford, winning 2-1. So who knows, Barnsley could go down, but I saw the EFL website, I saw something about that, and it's got like a hyphen or something next to Wigan. So it doesn't say that they're definitely going down yet.
Yeah.
Because they're still waiting for this appeal to go through. But if you were the EFL guys, what would you be doing about this relegation situation with Wigan?
Well, I feel like after all they've done to Bolton and to Bury, I think they need to be on the good side of some football fans. So yeah, I feel like, although I feel it'd be very hard done for Barnsley, I feel like Wigan do not deserve it. And after, like, they're still a giant football club. They're still one of the biggest football clubs in England with their stadium still being quite big. And yeah, I just feel like the FA at the moment, they're not doing everything possible to save the football clubs, even in this time of crisis with all the coronavirus and everything. Like, they need to do something just to benefit a football club in general. And yeah, I feel like saving Wigan from going down to League One could be the perfect start.
Yeah, definitely. They haven't done anything to help some of the smaller and more financially troubled clubs, which they should be doing, especially now. You'd think that they'd be helping in this time of just uncertainty, but they haven't. They didn't do anything to help, and the least they could do is release this 12-point deduction.
Yeah. So we're going to go up to who's been promoted with Leeds now, and it's West Bromwich Albion.
Ooh.
And they've gone up for a record 5th time. I'm sure Joe's loving it. But we'll be seeing them at the Hawthorns in the Premier League next season.
Dean Garner's a baller, an absolute baller.
Is that the Brazilian one that they've got from Sporting Lisbon?
No, from West Ham.
West Ham.
On loan.
I'm sure they've got a
goal. Oh yeah, that's Pereira or something.
Yeah, I'm getting mixed up. But yeah, some big news as well. Saka, what's he got, Alex?
He is the new Arsenal number 7. I'm not sure who's replacing. I'm pretty sure Alexis Sanchez wore 7 for a while. Yeah. But yeah, another young player in Arsenal's ranks getting a pretty well looked at number. So yeah, and a really nice kit as well. Arsenal have just released their new home kit, and it does look pretty fire. So
yeah, I'm sure we'll be doing some kit review videos.
It does look quite nice, yeah.
But it's like they've just knocked off the 7 off a 77 shirt and just said, all right, yeah, we've got another 7, we'll give you that one. But yeah, some classics over the years have won that. Robert Pires, Alexis Sanchez. That's all I can remember.